what I was going to say, I heard that some Chinese warship lasered Philippines. Did you hear about that?
Laser fault? No, I don't keep up with the news.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
what happened?
It shows, this big battle cruiser out there and just shooting this laser beam or something at Philippines, but that kind of seemed kind of stupid to me. But anyway, it was on the news. I didn't look at it really, but
well, what's it do? So what does that do? It's like a deadly laser beam. Is the Philippines going to explode in 5 minutes, or what?
No, I don't know. I think people just lost their mustaches and beards and stuff. It just kind of lasered them off. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's probably just a bunch of silliness. It's all in people's heads, just like a lot of the virus is in people's heads. But that's the world we live in, and and we just have to deal with it. But there's a lot of other things to be concerned about. You're going to heaven, stuff like that. The important stuff.
Yeah.
This life is like a blink of an eye, comparatively. So I'm like, you may want to worry about your soul here or there, But people got their priorities a little screwed up. It's like, no. Again, we were talking about last week about Dokdo Islands and all this petty bullcrap where they're worried about, these are our rocks. No, it's Japan's rocks. It's two rocks in the middle of the ocean. Who cares?
Right.
Anyways,
right. Who really cares? Yeah. Well, the new things that are out is, of course, about the other derailment in Ohio. Makes 4 in 1 month. Something's fishy there. I don't know what the deal is, but it wasn't any chemicals or anything like that. Nobody got hurt, but it was like 20 cars just kind of like derailed. So
man, is derailment a thing, or is this just odd?
I think it is, and it's probably so that they can demand in Congress a new infrastructure budget, and then they can throw all their pork in there. They're all the weird.
They already did. Didn't we just sign off on a huge ass infrastructure project?
Well, yeah, but not much of it was infrastructure. Most of it was everybody else's pet projects. So
I don't know. The way. Well, that's just in America, but you got issues all over the world like that. Governments are just, just getting wild and crazy with their checkbooks and not thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, I know, and it's the important things that you don't hear, that you don't hear about. It's because all of a sudden it goes quiet because it was important. So that's a weird thing. But they bring up this stupid stuff over and over and over again, and that'll be like the whole news for until the next stupid thing comes up.
Sure. No, they well, they're average meter, and you saw that. That it's been going on for a number of years, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Going all the way back to Obama. I know you're not a big fan of Obama. I'm not a big fan of Obama either. But, there were a lot of silly things that they would go after Obama for. Like Obama didn't like ketchup in his hot dogs or something like that. And it was Fox News that said, I think Fox News lost their minds because they're like, well, he's un-American. He doesn't like ketchup in his hot dog. Like, that's stupid.
It is.
There's a lot of stuff. There's real reasons you can, and same thing with like Trump or Biden. Biden's old as hell,
Yeah.
But there, he's old. The man's old. He's gonna trip upstairs every now and then. I'm sure if I was in my 80s, I'd be tripping on stairs too. If I was lucky, I'm like, the fact is, you guys selected him. You threw him in there. Knock yourselves out.
I'd probably do the same. At 80, I don't know. I'd probably do it at my age. I don't know, but but okay. Remember when I was talking about all those humpback whales that washed up on the beaches in New Hampshire or something like that? I don't know, right? Or Maryland, the whole deal was they were using sonic signals looking for the places to put windmills out in the ocean. Right? So the sonic sounds they put down disrupt the whales have that sonar, right? So it disrupts their sonar, and so they didn't want to talk about that because then it goes into the Green New Deal, right? So yeah, so that's really funny. So that one didn't happen. And then the animals that are all dying in East Palestine, there's like deer croaking all over the place and animals. I mean, so far like 43,000 animals or something they found, and then all the fish in the creeks. So it's like, oh, there's no poison though, it's like no problem, so we'll see. Yeah. It's crazy.
No, it is. It's crazy, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. But copy and paste the craziness from America to any other country in the world. I have conversations with people all day long, part of my job, but people from all over the place, and that's pretty much how it is. Like, oh, my government in neighbor country, Azerbaijan or Argentina or Brazil or UK or whatever, copy and repeat. Must be all ready to get out of their country. Go overseas.
They're all ready for it. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, me and you got the memo a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I've been in Asia over 15 years. How long you been in Asia now?
Since 2004. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So almost about 20 years, I think. Yeah, about 20 years. So yeah, you hear about stuff all the time too, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna look up my FedEx. There was a bank transfer issue with my FedEx or with my bank in the States. I use USAA. It's my bank, but anyways. There was some fraudulent charges. Somehow somebody got a hold of my credit card and started charging like fraudulent charges. My bank stopped it, but they said, well, Gabriel, now we're gonna have to cancel your debit card and just ship you a new one. I'm like, well, wait a minute, because when you do that, and that's probably why somebody got a hold, because I have my debit card info all over the place. I have to, just for my business, because I don't know if you have Audible, but I have, small payment accounts like on YouTube. I use YouTube Premium. I use this one. I use that one. I probably have 5 or 8 services I use. They're like $10 a month or something like that, but I've been getting little dings here and there of saying, "Oh, your credit cards or your debit card's not working." So, and FedEx. So anyways, when my bank canceled my debit card, and I said, "You realize I'm overseas? I'm in the Philippines right now." They're like, "Yeah, we'll FedEx you your new card." I'm like, "All right." They're like, "Yeah, you'll have it in like 2 or 3 days." I'm like, "Okay, maybe." Yeah, but anyways. It's about 5-6 days. No, it's not the end of the 4 or 5 days. I don't know. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying. And banking, as I'm sure you know, overseas is, for foreigners, is extremely annoying. Trying to. I don't know. Has it happened to you, or you had banking issues, right?
Yeah, I got banks in like 3 countries, but the one I told you about, the one I just had the problem in America, where I pulled out like $300 or $324, and all of a sudden it disappeared. Mm-hmm. And my bank had said, well, in the U.S. said, well, it may take up to 120 days for us to do the incident report, but we might be able to credit you the money, but we may take it back from you. It's like, what are you talking about? So I just said, well, there's nothing else I can do. So I just kind of waited, and then finally they put it back in, but minus $4. And I said, well, that's no big deal, but why? And she said, I don't know if it was because of the transfer fee, and I said, what are we transferring? Or she says, well, maybe it was the exchange rate and everything. And I said, well, that shouldn't matter. It should be the same, right? I mean, it's really, I don't know, whatever. So as long as I got it back and everything, and I got the letter that said that this has been solved and everything, I think what I'm hearing is I just heard on last night, Wells Fargo is the big one, and JP Morgan. And if they have a bank run where everybody starts taking their money out, they're not going to have enough money.
Who? So, JP Morgan?
Yes. And what they're doing is there's all these credit unions and everything that they kind of finance, right? So all these little credit unions and stuff do business with the big banks, right? So I think the big bank just decided, well, we'll just keep his money and stuff. So I don't think it was the credit union's fault, because I've known them forever. I can call them up and just call the manager and say, hey, this is Devin. My brother's sending you something. Can you put it in my account? Oh, no problem. That kind of thing. So,
I would.
So I don't have any problems with them, but for them to lose the money, that's weird. That's got to be the big bank. But why $300? That's nothing.
Well,
we're talking.
But you got it back. $300 you got back, right?
Yeah, they paid it back, but
minus $4.
Maybe they just kind of thought maybe I was just not going to complain about it and not notice or something,
I wouldn't get your underwear in a twist over $4,
Yeah.
I had a girl yesterday or a couple of days ago. I don't know. She one of our services, we offer recruiting assistance to people overseas, and she wanted to teach in the Middle East, Kuwait, I think. And so we're working on getting her set up with Kuwait. We were going to, and normally we charge $195, or we do now, so $195. But anyways, last year we charged $150, but every year it goes up a little bit, inflation, all that good stuff. So anyways, but I told her, I said, okay, you pay the $150, it's fine. I'll just give you the old rate, because I talked to her last year and she really wanted to do this, have me go to work for her. I said, fine. If I can make commission, I will, of course. $150, I'm not going to rah jump for joy on that. But anyway, she paid the $150, and then I said, okay, you understand this is non-refundable. I'm going to go to work for you, but it's not refundable. My goal is commission. Basically, I don't want to do all the work and then have you go, hey, Gabriel, you didn't give me my dream job or whatever, and that's always happens. People come in, if you give them $5,000 a month, they want $10,000 or whatever. People are always going to bitch at the end. Yeah. But anyways, so I put that legal disclaimer in the front, and she's like, no, I can't agree to that. I said, well, then I can't go to work for you. She's like, well, no, do this, do that, I sent you the money, just give me the job. I said, well, I'll get you the job. Absolutely, I'll do my very best, but it may not be what you want or this, that. But, this is non-refundable. But anyways, long story short, I said, okay, well, here's the refund. I refunded her $150, and that was that. And that was just my peace of mind. So I'm like, don't sweat $4, don't sweat $150 at the end of the day. I'm like, God bless. Because, this girl, I'm like, here's your money. God bless. Because she was, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It's not worth, like you're going to, and she did regret it massively later on. But in the moment, as we all get in the moment, sometimes we have to be careful about that. In the moment, she's like, oh, no, I'm freaking out. And she wanted her money back. And I said, okay. Because I know I've been doing this 15 years. I know that, this is just going to fester. And I shouldn't have even taken our case in the first place. So that was probably my fault. But I said, okay, here's your money. And that was the end of it. So I wouldn't sweat $150. I wouldn't sweat $4, But yeah, good.
Another thing I learned is they've got a new scam at ATMs. And believe it or not, I heard about it first from Nigeria. And what they're doing is going up to the ATMs where the card reader is, right? And the scammers are putting glue in the card reader, right? So people take their card and put it in the ATM and it won't read it, right? And this guy comes up behind them and says, oh, hey, if you take and tap your card, it'll work. See your little chip on there, you tap it down on the little sensor they got there, and it'll open the account, right? But unless you manually close the account, it stays open. So then the scammer waits until you leaves and then goes out and draws out more money out of your account. Mm-hmm. So I know there was one guy that got hit for like 1,000. Another one, I don't know how they do it multiple times, but they did. So that's another one that I don't know if you've got that little tapping thing that they got. I haven't seen that.
Well, that tapping scam wouldn't work in the Philippines. Here in the Philippines, here in Manila, they got guys with shotguns around all of the ATMs. Police officers and stuff like that.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
That's
every flight Duterte came in when he was in. I think he's out now, but when he came in, he cleaned house. He was like, no. If you have drugs, you're going to get shot. We're going to kill you. Drug problem solved. Wow. There's no drugs in the Philippines. He said, we're going to put a security guard with the shotgun at every single, one security guard at every single place of business.
Right.
Boom. So they had to pay, I'm sure they had to pay taxes and all that crap.
Oh, sure.
But that did the trick, Wow. So I've been in the Philippines over 6 years now. The security guards with shotguns kind of freak out at first, but you learn to appreciate it after a while. You're like, yeah, nobody's gonna pull any crap like that. Like the ATM scam or whatever. Because if for some reason somebody tried to try something funky out of one of these restaurants, hold up a restaurant or whatever. I don't want to deal with that crap. I don't want to risk it getting shot, but there's security guards at every single establishment around here.
That's cool.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
We're lucky we don't have some homeless guy with chopsticks. That's all we'd get. They don't have, the only people that really get security guards are the main banks and gold shops, the places where they sell gold, right? They got a guy sitting in there, looks harmless, but anyway, he's sitting in there as a kind of a security guard. But other than that, we don't have them, you know.
Well, it might be happening eventually, you know. Like I said, Duterte got in and kind of cleaned house.
Yeah. Whoa, you froze there for a while.
You're back. Yeah, no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but you froze. I mean, I could see your face and everything, and you were just sitting there and you're just frozen.
No, it's just I guess it was like an internet hiccup. I don't know. It happens.
What was the last thing I said?
I don't know. We were talking about banks. I can't remember the last thing you said, but we were talking about banks. I was saying rural Thailand. They probably don't have the best banks, and they certainly cannot afford security guards at the banks. They do at the capital. Like I'm in Manila. You're in Bangkok, so they put the best investments and security guards and best banks in the capital. Usually, that's usually how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the places around our ATMs pay off in coins. You know, it's kind of a low budget area, but it wasn't a long time ago when I bought it, but now it is. It's getting back up there. They're building back up, but it kind of.
That's right. You own your condo. How much you pay for your condo there? Back when you're rich.
Well, it's two. It's two made into one.
Two condos made into one. That's what I got.
Yeah.
I got 2 units, but they're all converged. So it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. What I have. But anyways, I rent. It was 50. It's 50 square meters and with balconies and everything. But I think I paid around 20,000. Yeah. Man, something like that here. I don't know if you have all the bed. You have pool. We have pool. We have a gym. You know, we got high security. We got like 30 security guards.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have that? We don't. No.
We used to a long time ago, but I think they gave up. And the only pool we have is when it rains real hard up on the roof. But other than that,
it's a natural pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a custom job, but no, we don't do anything. And I think you might not want to go up there anyway, because I think they grow pot up on the roof. But it's legal now, so you know.
Is it?
Yeah, it's legal here. But
they will legalize that crap. Probably gonna be on the exit from Philippines eventually.
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't really care one way or the other. I don't have personal issues like, this pot's horrible, but it's pretty bad. It's just like the beginning and the end of any society that embraces that crap.
It makes everybody lazy and laid back and you know, wanting to eat pizza and watch Netflix, you know.
Well, you know, it's been legal mostly in America for like 10 years or whatever, and now the gap between the rich and the poor is ginormous. And all that crap does is just exasperates that. So anybody that works their butt off and they're creative, because what pot does is it kills off the creativity, you know, to do things. And you know, and sometimes work gets hard. That's part of. Ask any millionaire or billionaire. There've been sleepless nights and you know, worrying about supply issues. You own the business, so I'm sure you understand to an extent. So, but what pod does is it provides an escape. Same thing with alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah,
I know very well that I run into challenges and stuff, and I'll end up running away and hiding my worries in a bottle.
Yeah,
but it's just I don't need that, and they certainly don't need legalized weed. But anyways, they can do what they will. God gives everyone free will, but they're just destroying themselves in the end.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Definitely. I mean, it's that is a problem, and but it's funny because I started doing the CBD oil salve. Well, mainly because it's there's no THC in it, the CBD oil, right? But it helps you sleep, and then also in a salve, it takes away your pain, right? On rubbed on your arm, your shoulder, or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they won't let you. They'll reject any ad that you put out about it, even though it's legal. You get kicked off platforms all the time because it's removed, and I found that out. So you just don't mention CBD and then you're fine. So I don't know what so I just gave up. I just said, all right, well, whatever. I'm not gonna do it. So
right.
But yeah, it's kind of a crazy deal. They have some rules but I tell you what, there's a lot more back where we come from than there is here. So, No,
it's really bad issue. My brother, he's in Colorado. He was telling me he would go down the street and it just stank really bad with all the weed and crap, because we did not smell that very good. So just the odor of all the weed and crap they have there in the States is horrible.
Colorado has a lot of weed, huh? Don't they?
Oh yeah.
Colorado, the weed capital of the world, or of the U.S. is Colorado. I don't know why.
California. Yeah.
But
no, it's
you wouldn't think so, but they because it's cold and everything. But hey, you got all those rich people in Aspen, man. They got to have their weed, right?
Well, I think, like I said, well, it's the old saying, right? Again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, why not? I'm sure they have the best of intentions. Why not? You want to chill? You want to take the edge off? Smoke a joint. Yeah. Go ahead, go for it. But there's longer repercussions. I mentioned just like we had to deal with in America with what was that? Prohibition, right? Prohibition. A lot of people came up with prohibition. A lot of females and weak males, kind of like what we're dealing with right now. God bless. But I'm sure everybody has the best of intentions, but they don't realize the long-term effects. A lot of people don't look at the big picture. And so, just like with prohibition, we came in there with outlawing alcohol, but then all these gangs showed up, and all this bad stuff really started happening. Well, we're kind of seeing a repeat of that. So it's probably gonna have to get rolled back. The widespread homosexuality, like, gay marriage came in, best of intentions. Man and man love each other. Why can't they get married? It's just really, it's just like, you ever see Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that scene where they're like, the only thing that can fix what Nedry did, the programmer guy, the bad programmer guy, because he screwed up, turned off all the systems, and they couldn't get back online. They're like, the only option we have is to turn off the entire system and restart it. And like I said, that's what happened back in the day with Noah and the flood. They kind of had to reset the system.
Yeah.
However, literally you want to believe that, I think it's more of a metaphor, but it's kind of like the same idea. Like they had to kind of start all over again.
Yeah, I think it was
and unfortunately, a lot of people died. What's that?
I think it's a metaphor too. I don't think it's not really possible for.
Leave it to.
Yeah.
There are millions and millions of people out there that want to make it literal, like, and they will go on historical digs and stuff and show you, oh yeah, this place is this mountain looks like Noah's Ark, right? Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that crap. And it's just like they project what they see or what they think in their mind, and you see this throughout society. People, they will conclude like, well, homosexuality is awesome. It's very natural and it occurs. Like that's what you want. And then you're working backwards from there. And those same people I will talk to, and they're half doing it on purpose, but I think there's negative demonic influences, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Acting in that. But what they'll do is they'll work backwards from their conclusions. Their conclusion is homosexuality is awesome. Therefore, let me somehow pervert nature to fit with that conclusion. So they will say, well, like, I don't know, they'll make up some bullshit numbers like 60% of all bugs are homosexual or asexual, something like that. It's like, that's okay. Those cherry picks, and to them it's 100% true, but it's just silly. It's just
No, I gotta switch gears because I just learned something also actually this morning. That in Japan, is the robot capital of the world, right?
Right.
They say they are going to be creating female robots that can get pregnant.
Yeah.
That's
how does that work?
They wouldn't really explain it, but they show all the female bots and all this stuff, and they show pictures and stuff like that, but I don't know how realistic it really is, but there's people that just they buy one, $345,000 for the newest female bot now, and they say that they can do all kinds of tasks around the house, and both things that normal nurses won't do.
Sex.
Yes, and so I just kind of wonder, where are we going with this, and if they do something like that with robots, that's scary, but I don't know. I would say if something. I mean, it's kind of like an in vitro thing. I don't know how that would happen.
Well, they can knock themselves out, but I think, I think things are going to crash and burn before they get to the point where they can create life. I think that'd be a little bit on the outreach, creating life like God did. That's what they're ultimately after. Because again, subconsciously, of course, they would never admit it. But subconsciously, I mean, again, I mentioned, year 2000 was the last year that, because America was one of the most humble nations once upon a time. It's our damn currency is in God we trust, right?
Right.
So that's where America used to be once upon a time, but it's the cheese falling way off America's cracker, and that's why you're seeing what you're seeing now. People can't figure out which bathroom to go into. Like, you can make up whatever gender you want to be. It's crazy.
I think it all started September 11th, 2001. That's when it really hit the the real mark there, and when they made that accident and demolished those buildings, and they didn't never even mention if they found any planes laying around or plane parts, right?
I don't know. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because I know we don't need to go down that rabbit hole because I think a lot of times what happens is when an event happens, how many people think the Earth is flat? Did we really go to the moon? There's so many conspiracy theories nowadays,
not even
right? And so you just have to kind of hold your tongue, just leave it alone. Because we all have ideas about this and that, but at the end of the day, work on getting to heaven, work on your soul. That's what you need to be focused on. And I was going through the Beatitudes. It says, don't judge or you'll be judged. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone then. I'm not going to be judgmental to anybody, or try not to be anyways. Well, because I don't want to screw myself.
No, like when you mentioned the moon thing, I mean, with the Van Allen radiation belts, there's no way we could have gone through them anyway. So it's it's not even worth talking about whether it happened or it didn't, because
you think it.
We can't get through the radiation belts. They still can't.
Oh, good news, man. My FedEx package got delivered, so I just have to go downstairs and grab that. So I'm sorry, but yeah. Well, God willing, everything will work correctly. But that was, like I said, last week was, you've been through incidents where it's just like the sky's falling, like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. That happens to all of us. So it's just seemed like everything was going sideways. I had that psycho chick that wanted 150 back at. It's okay, because I had plenty of other crap to deal with,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But anyways, like I said, my debit card went sideways, and then they called me up last week, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna send you a new one." I'm like, "You realize that's gonna screw up everything else I've done? But you gotta do what you gotta do, because again, if I got my card out there in 5 or 8 places, all it takes one of those idiots to give away, somehow sell your data or something like that."
So you have to change every one of them, huh? To a new number and.
Well, the ones that trust, and that's kind of the point. I mean, the bank, cut off the old card. So if some asshole scammer or whatever is out there with the old number, they can just do it all day long. They can't get diddly doodah, out of the bank. It's useless. So, I'll have to reprogram, but I'm only going to reprogram the sites I actually trust, And then I'll go, yeah, I know what this charge is. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll re-update my card info and all that good stuff. I got to activate it, I think. So, anyways.
Well, hey, this is got through a lot of stuff. That's good. I will. I'm just curious. You don't think we went to the moon, huh? No.
All right, that sounds like a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
No, it takes a heck of a lot. My hats are off to you, Devin. Hats are off to you. It takes a lot of faith, because I mean, you got to think how many. Well, I think 400,000 people worked on the Apollo program.
How do they keep everybody's hole shut?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's what's crazy, but the Van Allen belts they can't get through them. So I don't know
why do you think they couldn't get through them?
Because the radiation is too strong. It would just, and they didn't have in the 70s. They didn't have the radiation belts like that, or the radiation outfits and stuff that could handle that, and it would have just, I mean, it would have came back to like 3 eyeballs or something, you know?
Okay, Devin. Yeah, that seems a little far out there. I'm pretty sure we went to the moon, but well, that's conversation for another day. We'll agree to disagree.
Hey, I'll just say I don't believe it, but
and the Earth is flat, right?
I might be wrong. Yeah, right. That's another one. Yeah, that's crazy. But to be a flat earther, yes, I tell you, that's what. When people don't believe in the moon theory, then they call them flat earthers. Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, no, the Earth's not flat. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Well, anyway, it's an interesting take. Everybody has their own take, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not. I personally think that. Well, anyways, I personally, it doesn't matter what I personally think, but I think with God, all things are possible. And I think and that kind of goes into what we were talking about before with In God We Trust. That came out in the 50s. People had a lot more faith back then to get things done. True. And if you notice, it's kind of gone backwards. I personally believe we went to the moon. Everyone believes. A lot more people these days don't believe, and that's an issue with faith, and they're, you know, putting their faith. Anyways, I don't want to get into that, but like I said, you know, more and more conspiracy theories are popping up every day, and you wonder why. Interesting thought experiment. Devin, like I said, lovely to have you on the program, or have me on your program, or what? Did you record this, or you need me to send you a copy?
Yeah. Just send me a copy. You recorded it. Yeah.
Well, I recorded it. It should automatically just download it to you. If it doesn't, I think so. Because when last time you recorded it, and that popped up automatically in my feed, so I'm like, oh, okay, it popped to that. So, anyways, if it doesn't pop up, just let me know. But like I said, my name is Gabriel Atkins, Gold Staffing. Noah, what's your name?
Devin.
And you're in Bangkok. All right. Well, Devin, as always, we'll talk next time. And
next Monday. All right.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's
right?
it. Yeah.